Something that this little guy and I have in common is we are definitely learning how to transition and how to embrace a new state in North Carolina. I love you, puppy. Hi there from Cary, North Carolina. Oh my gosh, it has been a crazy, challenging, joyful roller coaster just really journey with this transition from New York to North Carolina. For those of you who are just now viewing, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much for just coming to this channel and just really seeing what it's all about. My last vlog, it was pretty emotional for me. Again, for those of you just now viewing, I have a vlog right before called The Answer. Feel free to view and just kind of see what's going on in my life. But yeah, these last few months have definitely, it's been a very challenging transition for me. You know, just a kind of, I guess, a long story in a nutshell. The month of March was really trying for me. I got the flu really bad and I caught bronchitis. So really just, I feel like it held me back from the things that I want to do. Like, Lord knows that I have this adventurous spirit and I just want to explore new things and explore more of North Carolina. I missed the Skillet concert, and I feel like I was kind of somewhat a month behind of, you know, my husband and I looking for a church to plant ourselves in, to serve, to grow in, and just to really, for me, just to make new friends. So it's been really hard for me. However, I've just been very thankful also for just a season of my life, because even though, you know, before, as I've been reflecting back, during these last few months, you know, when coming from a small town in Northern California, I had big dreams to chase. So I went to Los Angeles and I, you know, pursued my childhood dreams. And after that, I realized, I feel like that's another vlog in itself, but I realized really fast that it's really very challenging to be a Christian girl in the entertainment and modeling industry. And I realized that I was saying more no's than yeses. So I kind of stepped back and I realized that, you know what, I would actually like to pursue something behind the scenes, whether if it's in the fashion industry, entertainment industry, music industry. So long story short, my husband and I, at the moment, actually, it's just amazing. It's so crazy amazing at how God works in our lives. My husband actually wasn't happy with his job, but a veterans company that's based in New York had reached out to him when we were living in Los Angeles and had asked him, crazy noises back here in North Carolina, I swear. It's crazy, the noises that we hear out here. So hope you can still hear me over it. But going back to that story, I'm like, gosh, it's just getting louder and louder. I feel like it's just gonna come after me or something. But anyways, so going back to my point and my story, what had happened was there wasn't a lot of work in the line or in the field that my husband was pursuing. So basically they had mentioned to him that all the work was out in New York. I'd never been to New York, so in December of 2014, my husband took me on a trip of a lifetime, and I fell totally in love with New York City. You know, my husband knew that fashion was something that I wanted to pursue, and there was more work out there. We didn't have kids, so why not? So we took a huge leap of faith, moved cross country away from our family and our closest friends, and just really embarked on just a new journey. Again, you know, within the first 3 weeks of moving to New York, I had landed a job in the fashion industry. So we were there for nearly 3 years. And really this opportunity to come out to North Carolina kind of presented itself, you know, with opportunity for my husband's job and his line of work. I guess, again, just a long story short, my husband and I were planning on moving to North Carolina, but it wasn't supposed to be for another 3 to 5 years or when we had our first kid. However, I remember a week and a half before Thanksgiving, my husband and I were in New York City and we were shopping for gym shoes, and my husband had brought up that a big major company had bought out a portion of the company he was working at, and he had mentioned that they were building a location out in North Carolina. I remember tears started welling up in my eyes, and, you know, he told me to calm down. It wasn't, you know, might not be for another year, 3 years, 5 years, who knows? So I said, okay, just give me at least a year for me to say goodbye to New York. And within the next week and a half, as my husband and I did before Thanksgiving, we were on our way back home on the train, and my husband had mentioned, oh honey, before I forget, husbands, you can't forget something that's important, but I guess he didn't know how to break it to me. So he had mentioned to me that his boss needed him out in North Carolina in January, February. And I said, I'm sorry, of next year? And he said, yeah. I broke down on the train. I just, poured my head into my hands and I'm just crying. I'm sobbing. I'm trying not to be too loud because obviously I want to be courteous to other people around me on the train. My husband was making jokes saying, like, calm down, don't cry too loud. I don't want people to think that I'm beating you or I'm hurting you. But really that first hour is just really a lot to process and just to, accept. If it's one thing, 4 months, when we decided to move from California to New York, we had 4 months and that was still too much for me. So let alone this opportunity to already to move to North Carolina. Again, it wasn't in our goal setting of 3 to 5 years. We didn't have a child yet. So I admit it was very scary for me. But you know what, we did it and we made the move. And again, I guess for me it's always been so easy for me to embrace change because I had plans, I had goals in Los Angeles, I had a goal, I had a dream also to chase in New York. And I know by God's grace, he definitely had opened the doors for me to do that. And so I guess with change, in New York, in North Carolina, I guess they say like the older you get, the more scared you get, the more fearful you get. But again, it's just, I think it was just things happening all around me with my family and my mom, who has this big appointment coming up on Monday. It's just been really, really hard for me to, I guess, just to really embrace change. Thankfully, we have a little fur baby, what I like to call, that's our family dog. So I'm thankful that we get to spend some time with him and to take him cross country. But, I like seeing Jesus everywhere. And so I remember when I had Caesar, but now I guess we renamed him Baby Groot. If you guys watch Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I had little Baby Groot in his carrier, and he was crying and he was whimpering because he wanted to get out. And I kind of felt, but there was that bag of protection because yes, this plane from California to our layover was, out of all places in the country, was in New York. But we had a lot of turbulence coming to New York, and again, there's that bag of protection over him. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, that's how God sees us. Like, he protects us, even though, like, we're feared, we're scared of, like, a new surrounding, or we feel like we're trapped. But yet, it's just God saying to hold on through those bumps. Here comes those tears. There's God just saying, to hold on. You're going to have bumps in your life. You're going to have turbulence in your life, but just hold on to me. Just cling to me, and just stay quiet. And that's another thing about North Carolina. And if you know me, I'm not a quiet person. I've always been such a big city girl at heart. So I love to keep my hands busy, my feet busy. I like a lot of noise, but I definitely feel like in this season of my life, God is saying to serve me in the quiet, to worship me in the quiet, in the stillness. And truly in the stillness, there is just presence of joy. And just being out here right now with trees surrounding me and a pond and not having skyscrapers around me is just, I guess it's not I guess, I really know it's definitely just a beautiful thing, and it's so peaceful. And again, just really learning how to embrace my surroundings. And even though, again, these last several weeks, I've just been crying to God, I go into my walk-in closet and I just pour out my heart to him saying, Lord, what do you want me to do? I'm in this job. It's not my line of work and it's not my dream career. But you know what? I'm so thankful that I have the friends and the family that just speak words of life and encouragement to me, because I know God has a plan, just like God has a plan for each and every one of you out there. I know you may be going through fear. You may be going through anxiety. But just hold on. Just speak to God. And it's something that I started when I first moved out here, was learning how to embrace change by clinging on to God, by grabbing my camera and just talking to him. So later on throughout the year, I could see the struggles that God brought me through. Just like I listen to Caleb every day through my commutes to work and from work. And again, it's just different. I'm used to being in the train for nearly 3 years, going to work and to work. But again, it's just so different, with a different state of living here and how quiet it is. But just really seeking God through that. And just one thing that I love is just the gift of music. And I reflect back on all these last 2 years and how hard it's been for me, and just trying for me, painful for me. But I reflect back through the power of music, and I see what God has brought me through, what God has pulled me through, and how much I have grown, and just how much I need the Lord in my life. Faith is my middle name, and that's definitely something that I should not wear out. Okay, that was really lame. Sorry, let's back it up. But truly, I feel that faith is something that I've really lacked in these past few months. And just having that power of that song just embrace me, through the pain. He listens to our feeble prayers. Even though when we're weak, he is strong. And I think, again, it was just with this gift of faith that, I too, I don't have enough grace. I don't receive enough grace. I'm so hard on myself. In life, they tell you how you have to be perfect and how you have to think a certain way and be a certain way. But with the Lord, like, I'm free to believe even when I can't see. I am free to dream big. I am free to have a heart for others. I am free to just simply share the gifts of love and God's grace and God's mercy. And just, again, just going through the fire over these last few months and just being discouraged. I'm just so thankful for those people again in my life who just uprooted me and who continue to tell me to move forward. And I feel, again, that's just what life is all about. It's just embracing the joys, the turbulences, the speed bumps, going through the pain. I definitely feel it's what makes us stronger, but it's also what makes us grow. But just also having a community of people. If there's a few people out there who speak words of life into your soul, you keep them, you hold them tight. Because I am just truly thankful for the gift of friendship and just for the people that God has brought me, even in this new season of my life, how God has been shaping and molding friendships in my life, and especially, relationships with my family members. Even though there's just so much craziness, just going on with my family and the symptoms, with my mom. And, we just have to continue to walk by faith and trust in the Lord. But to also learn just how to embrace life, the gift of life, even through, we have those ups and downs, but just really be thankful, again, for a new season of life, embracing new changes. Life is not perfect, but, I feel, again, it's just really learning and just holding on to the promises of the Lord that will just continue to pull us through to keep us moving forward. I just want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you out there for just your love and your support and your encouraging words. And this is Baby Groot, our little baby Groot, who we love so much. And we're so thankful to have him here, out here on the East Coast. But to also those new viewers out there, thank you so much for just for taking the time to come out and to see what this channel is all about. And I just hope that we can, just link on to each other, link arms with one another, and just to continue to encourage and uplift one another, edify one another through this beautiful, challenging, crazy roller coaster of gift of life that we all have. So again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to our next vlog to see what it's all about, because I don't know. I'm just continuing to walk each day by faith. So again, thank you so much to everyone out there. I love you. Continue to keep the faith and to continue to press forward and moving forward in this beautiful gift we call life. All right, love you all. Bye.